Let's begin on a cautionary note. Just when you think that the storm of COVID-19 pandemic is over, the virus appears to be lurking in the corner. Lagos State, which is the epicenter of the pandemic in Nigeria, now has the highest number of confirmed cases in the country. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, Lagos has 100,376 confirmed cases as at the 1st of July. Now, the NCDC also said the latest confirmed cases of 347 have increased the country's infection toll to 257,290, while the number of deaths still stands at 3,144. Sam, I thought we were done with COVID-19. We were done with that.
Not quite. Anyone who has kept in touch with developments within the health sector and who has been monitoring, developments globally, realize that the pandemic is still rife. Even in the Americas, there's a huge there's a huge surge, and some countries, have had to, effect lockdown and all that, or even the work from home stuff. So it's been out there. It's just that in this part of the world, sometimes we just take things, for granted. Just as you said, Lagos is epicenter. On the average, Lagos records about 50 cases every day. The last time I also checked, the country is reporting about 82 on the average daily. So you could say that figure is not too high, but then it just tells you that we are not totally done with the incidence of COVID-19. Now, we also must appreciate the fact that we've not done quite well with vaccinations. The last time I checked, we had just about 50 million doses, applied in this country. And if you take the average, that's about 10% of the population. Because if you have had 2 doses of it, it means just about 25 million people have been vaccinated. That leaves us with just about 12.6% of the population. So it just shows that many Nigerians are still exposed to that, to this scourge, and we've got to be very careful. We appear to have given up on the basic hygiene conditions of washing, keeping distance, and all that, using our face or nose mask and all that. So it's sad we have this report out there. But again, it sounds a note of warning to Nigerians that we are not completely out of the woods. People have to be very careful, and take necessary, precautions to ensure that we don't, have the kind of surge we had, in 2020. So we've got to live with it, and we've got to be very careful in managing our hygiene conditions.
GKB, what's the advantage of, some of us, we taking the first, second, and booster jab.
Yeah.
So what should I be careful of?
Well, I think there's what they call the vulnerable age, people with persistent conditions. You have liver problems, you are diabetic, you have high blood pressure, anything to do with the lungs. You must continue to observe all the primary precautions. And I think not only Nigeria, the world, the human race have decided that, like the flu or malaria, they are going to live with this particularly for some time. They have decided not to let it control their lives. It's not peculiar to Nigeria. All over the world, they expect the thing will ebb to flow. But what they try to do is that at least the level of immunity within the communities are growing and really not as scary as it was 2-3 years ago.
But this thing dealt a very big blow, as in halted our lifestyle, adjusted our lifestyle. 2 years ago was something that came like a very strange phenomenon, and it reminds us of what happened in 1918, and a lot of people were staying at death. We lost a lot of our loved ones.
True. And it's just like yesterday when the news broke all over the world. So it set human race back millions of lives lost. I can't put it, exact figures to it now, but millions of lives lost, and people are still dying. The world economy almost came to a halt. There were supply chain disruptions all over the world, and the world is yet to recover from it. People lost their jobs. We had to adjust to the new normal of working from home, and that changed a lot of things. So
you have to
we just hope we don't get back to that level of 2020, even though there have been
because it was strange at that time.
Yeah.
So I think now we are learning to adjust to live with it.
But we still have warnings about something of this nature happening again. I read stuff about what's the Microsoft man's name again? Gates. Talking about something of similar magnitude happening again in the future. So we've got to be very careful. Sadly for us,
but that we've always had issues with viruses. We've been here for over 1 billion years. They're also here. So we have been winning so far. What can we say? I think we need to tell our people that the laws that guide the elements persist. Doesn't matter whether it's virus or not. Once you use your hand, wash it.
Yeah.
Save so many things, including pepper in your eye. It's not only because of COVID. Once that becomes a practice, then the thing will have no way to grow beyond what we have now.
A lot of this non-pharmaceutical interventions.
Yes.
Keeping to it strictly.
We just have to. So this basically serves as a reminder to everyone
we are not out of the woods.
We are not out of the wood. People have to continue to take responsibility, for managing their hygiene conditions.
For those who have
what's the update on traveling? Have you had any cause to leave the country?
Most countries have lifted restrictions.
Yes. Even for Nigeria, sometime in April, the government lifted the ban on inbound passengers. If you're coming from any of these countries that has had COVID-19 impact and all that, those of them who have lifted the ban, you can come in and all that. If you travel, it's not every country that you have to now take the PCR test before you. So there has been some kind of adjustment and all that, but countries,
our normal 50K that we were collecting and barcode.
Those businesses are they've moved on now. So, but nobody's taking a chance, and Nigeria should not take any chances. Yes, Britain, most parts of Europe and the Americas, are opening up their economies. But again, they're also
entering the country from outside. If you are in the US or if you're in Europe, anywhere in Europe, and you want to enter Nigeria, it was a very big problem that time.
Yes, then I bought
that form.
In fact, sometimes you will not even go because you are there for 7 days.
True.
Yes.
You can't even step out.
Isolate for 14 days.
You can't even step out.
So you'll be spending 28 days just to have a 1 week holiday.
But that's actually easing because for those who have traveled lately, you come in. If you have had the double vaccination, you really don't have to
show them that card.
Yeah, that's all you need. Except you've not had the full dose. Once you have had the full dose, you can just come in and then you have your documents checked and then you're in. So, and if you're traveling to any of the countries where they've also lifted or eased the restrictions, you don't have to undergo the PCR test before you're admitted into such countries.
All right.